So episode 8 of Prison School was definitely pretty surprising to me at least, because Operation DTO, or just DTO, was actually a success, and that right there blew my mind, because I was so sure that that plan would fail, because obviously these boys are the main characters, so of course they cannot get kicked out of school. But we do see from the ending of episode 8, there was a good chance that they will probably clear their names. But the beginning of the episode, to me, I felt so bad for Andre, because this guy was a mess. Not only was he not eating, but he was also not even bathing, and this guy looks so sick, so dirty, because this guy definitely has some very, very strong mental problems, because he wants to get punished so badly, and because he's not, it's taking a real toll on him. But we see that this right here was all planned by the this right here was going all according to plan by the underground student council. And so we see that once again Shingo was being allowed to go out, and we see that because of that, all the guys were left, doing all the work. And we even had Kiyoshi, trying to get some kind of info out of Shingo, because obviously, all the guys are noticing that this guy is spending a lot of time with mainly, the vice president. And so now we see that at the end of the day, while they were all, taking a shower after working, Andre, once again, was still dealing with his depression. And there was also one scene where we have Chio and her friend. They were playing some kind of game. Now the name of that game definitely escapes my mind at the moment, but I'm pretty sure that it's similar to checkers, but I don't believe it's called that. But we see Chio was trying to warn them about what was going on, but Kiyoshi, he could not figure it out, and we see that right there was on his mind for a long time. But we see that by the time he brought up to the other guys, it was too late, because we have Andre falling into their plan, and we see him now being lured out by the vice president. And we see at first he actually goes to a cardboard cutout, and we see that right there led to some kind of office room, and it was there that he found his diary. And so when he reads that, it's obviously outlaying all these details for him to follow. And we see now one of them was if he go through that door, he'll be punished by the vice president, and that right there is what he wants more than anything. And so we see now that when he does go outside, we see that once again that the vice president will wearing that one size too small uniform. But we see now that she definitely got upset for that mom comment he made last episode, and we see her now bursting through that uniform, and obviously it was censored, but the way she did it, to me, it was definitely hilarious. But we see now Andre here, he would do anything to get punished. So and we even see him now doing it again as he ran toward her, and then you see her now looking like some disgusting blob. But we see now that even though he was running toward her, he could still not get punishment, because he was being blocked by that wire fence they have. And so we see now Kiyoshi here, he had finally asked the guys what that message Shio has said to him meant, and we see at first he could not figure it out, but we have 4 rocks who actually figured it out pretty quickly. And so we see that because of that, they all figured, or he figured at least, that it meant boys expelled today. And so right now they were all worried, and we see that all of them came to a conclusion that maybe Andre might be the center of this, because right now he was the only one not being punished. But we see that when they all looking for him and they found the cardboard, that right there led them outside, but it was too late, as Andre could not wait any longer, and actually knocked down part of the fence just to get punished. But sadly, that right there counted as a breakout. So obviously they all got punished for that. And now going back to Shingo, as he was on his date, we see now that they went to go watch that movie. I believe it's called like Wrath of Grapes, but both of them found it so boring. And I will say that that girl Anzu, she had a very, very interesting way of like, you know, of getting over somebody, because we see that like she was all leaning forward, you know, showing her tits. I'm pretty sure, you know, her panties were like exposed as well when like Shingo looked at her, but obviously, you know, we cannot see that because to us it was censored. But right now, both of them found that movie so boring that they left early and went to this park. And so we see that while they were at this park, you know, both of them, you know, kind of got, you know, very close, and they were like pinching each other's cheeks. And we see now, like, you know, kind of having like this like very cute moment, surprisingly. And so we see that, you know, right when you think that they might kiss, we have Shingo, you know, getting up, and he walked over to these two boys that was like picking on one. And we see now that the reason why they were picking on him is because he had, you know, abandoned them to go hang out with a girl. And obviously excuse me, obviously Shingo can, you know, somewhat relate to that, because right now he doing the exact same thing to Kiyoshi. And so he was like telling these guys that, you know, if he was their friend, then they should forgive him. And so right now we have the boy that was like getting picked on. He actually stood up to Shingo, and now we see that all these guys had made up. But, you know, Shingo had realized that all this time, you know, even though Kiyoshi is his friend, you know, now once has he forgiven him. And so right now Shingo was like now reflecting on his own actions, and that right there was like slowly, you know, redeeming his character. And that right there, you know, after he told Anzu everything, it's there that, you know, she confessed to him. And so right now, when he knew everything, and so we see that because of this second breakout as well, that these boys prison time were getting extended by like 3 more months. But we see that, you know, one more strike and it will be gone. And so we see that, you know, right now Shingo obviously was like going to head back, but we do learn that while they were watching the movie, Anzu here had actually set his clock back by like 30 minutes. So right now he only had 5 minutes to get to the school. And so right now, you know, the student council is like thinking that they won. And they actually tell the guys, you know, that, you know, if they were like still in school, then they could have attended like all these events they had during the year. And when they mentioned, you know, a wet t-shirt contest, obviously, you know, a viewer cannot enjoy that, you know, thanks to the censorship. But these guys start going crazy as they were like sending all their hopes and prayers to Shingo, so that way, you know, he could return and that, you know, they wouldn't miss it. And so now we see that while Shingo was running, he somehow out of nowhere gets like this image of a wet t-shirt contest, and we see that when he looks behind him, that right there is where he sees the van coming right at him. And so obviously, you know, this van did hit him, even if he does deny that. But we see that this right here is the guy that like comes to the school and actually does everybody's laundry. And so right now Shingo here had actually hitched a ride with this guy. But we see that even when he had arrived at the school, he could not open the door, you know, to make it back in time. And so he thought, you know, at first that they might have, you know, set it up so that way it was locked. But that right there was not the case. That door was like always faulty, but they did fix it, so now you can open it properly. But he did not know about that. And so right now, that right there was like considered their third breakout. And so now, you know, DTO was assessed because all the boys, you know, will now get expelled. And we do learn that Anzu is actually the captain of the guard. Now, I have no idea what that means. It's like some kind of rank she has. Now, obviously, she does work with the underground student council, but captain of the guard though, like what in the world is she guarding? Like to me, it seems like, you know, some kind of weird rank. But obviously, you know, she was lured into that role of, you know, tricking Shingo, because, you know, the president said that, you know, if she does this, she'll recommend her, you know, for a better, you know, job or service. And so right now with like all the boys getting expelled, we see now Shingo obviously felt bad and was like, reflecting on his actions like even more. And we have Kyoshi, telling him to stand because when Shingo found out that Kyoshi was like hanging with a girl, Shingo hit him, and so right now Kyoshi was gonna get payback on him, and we see him now giving him like this little tap on the shoulder. But when Shingo was like going all in on, talking about how much and how well connected him and Anzu got, that right there kind of like upset the boys, and we see Kyoshi giving him this like pretty good punch, and we even see the guys jumping him as well. And that, and after that, you could like see the end result, and Shingo is definitely not in the best condition. But they were saying that because he saw nipples and her panties, that right there was like too much, and they could not forgive that. But now we see that the boys will be expelled, and I definitely like the way that the chairman talks. Like he will say almost a full sentence, but then on that last word there will like be a few seconds delay. Like, to me that's hilarious. But we do see that these boys will have like a week at most before they're expelled for good, and we even have Chia fighting for them even more. But obviously she cannot provide proof because those DTO manuals, they are now being shredded by Hannah. And so right now we have the underground student council celebrating, and we see that that the vice president, she like we see her now doing like 50 finger pull-ups like on this door, and we see her now like almost being done with them, and we see that. But I believe it was Anzu that had came in there, and she actually made her fall, and we see her almost like landing on the doorknob, and that right there is where it cuts to the guys. And so right now these guys, they definitely don't want to give up, because right now Shingo had told them actually that he saw an image of a wet teacher conscious going on. And so for us, we're saying miracles really do happen because their prayers have reached him. And we have Kyoshi say something pretty powerful, that miracles do not come from just sitting there. And so right now they were thinking of what they can do to like save themselves. And right now the only thing that will save them is proof of the DTO operation. And so right now Shingo was like saying that he once saw DTO somewhere before, and that right there is where the episode ends. But a little bit before that, we have the vice president now hanging off the door by her panties. Now I have no idea if she like fell on it, or maybe she like turned her body some way and her panties caught on that. But I do think that she did fall on that, and maybe when she like falling backwards, that's how her panties got caught on it. But to me, I find that freaking priceless. I do wish that they would have showed that and not cut it, because I would have been dying laughing watching that. But right now we have the console wondering how in the world did like Shingo make it back in time, because obviously Anzu was like doing a good job. But on the most important day, that right there is where she had failed. And so we see that right now, from doing those 50 finger pull-ups, obviously the vice president is like very tired, and she has no strength left. And so we see that when she actually tried to like pull herself up, she actually ripped her panties, and that right there made her fall completely. And I'm pretty sure that right there covered everything. To me, this episode was like very interesting and surprising, because I never thought DTO would like to see. I thought it would like fail from the start, to be honest with you. But of course, I love to hear your thoughts on this, and please do not forget to like and subscribe, because it really helps me out. But you guys take it easy, and I will see you all next time.